Ça va, monsieur organic, ici? Sorry for my French, it's absolutely terrible, so we'll translate that in English. Mr. Organic here, just admiring the view out there, which is actually Mont Blanc, but we can't really see it today because it's too cloudy. It's a real shame, I'd love to show you that. But trust me, best view ever of any gym I've ever been in. First of all, I want to thank my friend Nancy for helping to make this video because I definitely can't do it on my own. I'm sorry it's taken me so long to get around to doing this video. The last one I did, as you can remember, was 3 months ago, and I showed you how to train outdoors for the back and bicep session. And I promised you I was going to do the next session in the gym. Well, here we are. So today we'll be going through back and biceps. Nearly everything is going to be the same criteria. 5 different exercises, 4 for the biceps, 5 for the back. The rep ranges are going to be the same that I explained for the girls and the guys and the elderly. And exercises are going to be different. I'm going to try and show you some different exercises here. There's so many different things I want to go into, and I'll try and cover that as we go through the session. But the most important thing I want to say before we start is, before I walk into the gym, I actually don't know what exercise I'm going to be doing. There's so many reasons for that. You know, it could be that you've never trained in this gym before, and then you find out that the machine that you usually use is really crap here and it hasn't got enough resistance with it, so that's no good to you, so you'll pick a different one. But there's 3 main rules that I always apply to every session, especially with the back. We'll start with the back and we'll go to the biceps after. Rule number 1 is we want a vertical and a horizontal movement. Vertical, because that generally is going to work on width. Horizontal exercise generally going to work on thickness of the back. Why is that important? Well, obviously, the wider we get, the more of that V-taper that most guys are looking for, and obviously for thickness of back, we want that too. And rule number 2 is I'm always going to throw at least 1 heavy compound back movement in there. That will consist of either a deadlift, a pendulum row, or T-bar row. So that's the second rule. And the third rule is we're going to do at least 1 exercise where we can work on symmetry. So one side and then the other. Symmetry is really important, especially in bodybuilding. So that's that covered. And what I always normally do with the first exercise is try and look for an exercise that I can gradually increase the resistance in, so we can warm the body up, so we can prevent injury, because we want to avoid that at all costs. A lot of the time I'll probably start off with wide grip pull-ups, but because we did that in the last session, I'm actually going to start off today with black pull-downs with the cable, and then we're going to gradually increase the resistance and warm ourselves up. Second exercise, I always go with the heavy compound, so we've still got loads of energy to really hit that one hard. So let's move on to the first exercise and get into it. Okay, so here we are, the first back exercise. As I said, it's going to be lat pull down. Now, that's already got the right handle on for us, which is great, but actually there is no right or wrong handle. We want to switch it up as much as we can. So if it did have a closed handle on it, maybe I would use that as well. Generally, the wider it is, the more we're going to be working on width. The more close grip is going to work more on the middle of the back. So it's fine trying to switch it up. We're going to go with this. Like I said, first set is going to be totally warm-up set. Generally, I go for 7 reps, super light, just go through the movement. Feel into your body, how's it feeling, how tight you're feeling, where do you feel like you need to give extra attention and some stretching. First warm-up set. Now roll the shoulders. Now, because we're able to gradually increase the resistance here, we don't need to do some special warm-up, skipping, cycling, or rowing, or anything like that. This is going to be adequate enough for us to gradually increase the resistance and stretching in between. This is all we're going to need to do, trust me. A few stretches there. Now, to be honest, if I was on my own, I'd be taking more time to do this. So spend a good minute and a half in between each one of these warm sets. go through the motions of stretching properly. So that's the first set. Now we're going to increase the resistance, maybe by 3 plates. Again, we're going for 7 reps. Now with a lat pull down, when you've got a wide handle like this, the aim is you want to be pulling your elbows out, not trying to pull them forward like this. Pull them out. Squeeze at the bottom. Okay. Next warm up is put your arms out straight and then circles. Same as what we did in the outside training. Back to the middle, back. Again, stretching here, above your head. I want you to do 3 warm-up sets. And then on the third set, I want you to be about 80 or 90% of your working, what you'll work at 12 reps. If you're a guy and if you're a girl, then that'll be 80-90% of what you're going to do for 20 reps. It's about feeling it out and getting to know that if you don't know that already. Okay? Okay, so now we're all warmed up. We did a 3 warm-up sets. We did a stretching in between. We're just about to get into the working set. So we've kind of gauged what that was going to be for our rep range. So say for a guy now, we're going for 12 reps. So just put a weight on that you think you're going to struggle to do 12 reps with. Bit of trial and error sometimes. This is no particular weight, I'm just showing you what you can do. So pull the elbows out. Remember, not forward, pull them out. Squeeze at the bottom, all the way up. I don't want you to stop here. You just go all the way up and feel like it's trying to stretch out from your lats. Okay. So, see what reps you do. Maybe you've done 13. So then I want you to do is put more weight on for the next set. Okay. If you was at 7, then the weight's probably it's too heavy to work in the 8 to 12 rep range, so take a bit of weight off. Another thing I want you to do here, which is what I do all the time, is I want you to get a little book and I want you to write everything down. So for each session, so now we're on lat, cable pull downs, write that in there. Set 1 to 5, and then write down what kilograms that you did for the first set. The second set, third set. So when you can go back to that maybe a week or 2 later, you can see what you did last time, and the idea is to progress, is to try and better that, to try and get stronger. Because if we can get stronger, then we can ensure that we're going to progress, okay? So that's what I want you to start doing. So that's the first exercise, 5 sets of that, and then now we're going to move on to the heavy compound exercise. Oh, sorry. As promised, next exercise is going to be deadlifts. Oh, so many things to go into here, I don't know where to start. First thing I'm going to start with though, is to say it's extremely important that we warm up properly with this exercise, because this is the one that most of us are scared of, for good reason too, especially the lower back. Now, I'm not wearing a belt, knee belt. I'm not saying don't wear a belt, I'm saying there's arguments for and against a belt. The reason I'm not wearing a belt is because my friend is a super heavyweight weightlifter, and he said something to me one time. We were training and he was lifting these huge weights, like 300 kilo deadlifts and snatching 140 kilos with no belt. And I was like, mate, don't you wear a belt? And he's like, nah, I don't wear a belt because that's just going to weaken my back. I need to keep my back, I need to strengthen my lower back. So wearing a belt is actually going to stop me from getting my lower back stronger. And I thought about what he said and I thought, yeah, that makes sense. So for me, I haven't got a lower back injury, so I'm only going to lift what I'm capable of lifting. And if my back is going to start arching over because it's too heavy, then I'm going to take weight off, protect my lower back. So my back is going to be able to cope with what weight is on the bar. So that's my advice. If you've got a lower back injury and you feel that you have to wear a belt, wear a belt. If you feel like you want to wear a belt because it's more comfortable, do that. So that's what I'm leaving you with that. So first set, really super easy warm-up set, whatever that would be. So generally I have my feet shoulder width apart and I've got the bar touching my shins. And I'm going to bend down, and the most important thing is to keep this back flat. You don't want no arching over like this. Chest up, head up, and just hang your arms down. And then catching them up, keeping the back flat. When you come to this position, I don't want you to hyperextend too much. Again, that's going to increase the chance of injuring the lower back. Okay? And then when you come down, don't just arch down. Keep good form all the way through. Again, I want you to do 7 reps to warm up. Another thing I want to go into is the grip. So we've got 2 different grips. We've got the hook grip and then we've got the alternate. Hook grip is going to be harder when you get to heavier weights because it's going to try and pull the bar out of your hands. When you've got one going against the other, it's going to pull the bar into you. So if you're struggling with the hook grip, which I do sometimes if I'm getting to the heavier weights, and then switch it around. But just remember, if you do that, then on the next set, switch it around the other way. So keeping everything consistent. Again, we're thinking about symmetry here. Okay, we're going for the 12 I'd say 2 to 3 warm-up sets before we start getting into the working set. Okay, so let's get into a working set. I'll just show you a working set. Okay, so we're going to get into the working set now. Try and go with the hook grip first because that is only going to increase your grip strength. If you can stick with that, that's much better. Right, if you're going to struggle, then switch, of course, because there's no way you can hold onto the bar, so you've got no choice. Unless you're going to use straps, which I'm always against because we want to build the strength up in our hands at the end of the day. So, pull the bar off these mats because that's just increasing the height. You want to go all the way to the floor. Make sure you've done your 3 warm-up sets. Same technique as before as I explained when you did your warm-up. Keep that back flat, hang your arms, keep your chest up, head high. Just to there. That's the type of tempo you're looking for, okay? Keep the strict form all the way through your reps. And again, if you get to 12 and you feel like you've got a bit more, then put a little bit more weight on the bar. If you're at 10 or 11 and you couldn't do 12, that's the perfect weight. So that's a heavy compound one out of the way. Let's move on to the next one, eh? Hello, beautiful people. So here we are at the next exercise, which I've chosen cable rows. This is for the thickness, as I explained. We wanted a horizontal movement. This is a horizontal movement. So I've rocked up here, and there's 3 different handles. Which one do you go for? Oh, there's even another one over there. It doesn't even matter. Just depends on personal preference, but it's good to switch around them all. So if you really don't know and you eeny, meeny, miny, mo, pick this one. Of course, it's the same as the lat pull down. If it's wider, we're going to work more on the outsides. If we're going to have a closed grip, it's going to be working more on the middle of the back. So perhaps if you did the wider grip with the lat pull down, it would make sense to do a closed grip with this one. Try and think about each exercise as you go through the session. There's no strict rules, there's no right or wrong answer. It's just about sometimes using a bit of common sense and always trying to switch it up and keep it as varied as possible. So I'm going to go with a closed grip here. Ain't got much choice anyway. No warm-up sets now. We're fully warmed up, we can get straight into it. So try and choose a weight that you think you're going to be struggling to do 12 reps with, whatever that is. Now, there's so many different ways to do this. You can kind of arch forward and then that's going to relax on immediately. But I'm a firm believer of keeping the lower back as flat as possible all the way through the movement. And then what we want to do is pull these elbows out again. So we're getting that squeeze in the lats, not pulling here. Then we're going to use too much squeeze out, so we're using the lats. There, that's where the last part of the movement wants to be. Reach right forward and squeeze. You'll really feel that if you do it. Okay. Then do 12 reps. If you've done 12, then add a bit, and so on and so forth. Keep it in between the 8 and 12 rep range. Write everything down, and then when you do this again in a week or two, you're going to get straight onto the weight that you need. Because you'll look back in your book and it'll say 9 reps for the 5th set, and you know that was your best and you struggled to do 9. Keep the same weight. I want you to do 10 reps. That's how we're going to progress. So that's 3 exercises out of the way. Now let's go on to the 4th exercise. Okay, so we're going to do dumbbell rows. There's 2 different ways we can do this. We can do them on the rack, which is actually easier, so we don't have to keep carrying them over there. Or we can use the bench. But we're going to do them. I'll do it both ways actually. Show you both ways how to do that. I do them both ways. Just depends. If we're going to use the rack, then generally it's a good idea to hold one of these dumbbells up here as like a bit of a handle. And we want to open a stance up here for the side that we're going to pull on. So we're going to pull on the right hand side first. We want this right hand leg back. Now you're going to grasp the dumbbell and you're going to make this hang all the way to the bottom like that. So it feels like it's going to stretch. And then pull up. Okay, and then you're going to switch to the other side once you've done your 12 reps. And then again, you're going to put your left back now. Okay. Now I've got something a little special for you. In between each set we're going to do here, we're going to do a superset with a different exercise. So if you want to follow me, Nancy? What we're going to do is straight arm pull downs. In between the sets, superset. I'm going to explain why in a minute. Pick a weight that's not too challenging to do about 10 reps. Arms straight out, so you can feel that stretch through the lats. Pull down, just quick 10. Needs to be a bit heavier with this. And then have your 45 second to a minute rest before you do the second set. Why are we doing supersets? Well, we're getting towards the end of the back session now. We want to make sure that we're really getting a good pump. And this is one way of ensuring that, okay? The reason we didn't do it in the first 3 exercises is because we really want to use that strength that we had and that power to have to really push hard in those first 3. Now that doesn't mean that we're starting to coast towards the end of the session, not at all. It just means that we're just going to have that final push just to make sure we really hit those muscles where in the way that we want them to be hit. So, okay, let's go on to how you would do it on the bench. The second set. A bit of a pain in the arse carrying it all the way over here, but it's all good. So same again. Right hand side first, because the right hand side has been rested the longest. What we started with the first set. You need to hold on to the right hand side of the bench like this. Knee on here. Keep that back flat. I don't want no arching, back flat. Try and keep your upper body perpendicular to the bench, so parallel with the bench. Same technique, all the way down, so you feel the stretch. Pull up. The beauty of this is you can just roll that under like that. Oh no, you can't? Yes you can. Second set. Okay. Straight into your supersets. Release a bit of weight here. 10 reps, not 12, just 10. Arms straight. Squeeze at the bottom. Okay. So that's 2 sets, and when you just keep going, 5 sets. That'll be your third exercise. And the third exercise that we've just done is just work on symmetry. So we've got our 3 rules out of the way. First of all, I want to correct myself. Last time I said we was on the 3rd exercise. That was actually the 4th one. So we've got 1 more exercise to do. We can choose any we want, whatever you feel like. We can go for symmetry, we can go for vertical, horizontal. The only thing is stay away from a heavy compound. We've already done that, we've already got out of the way. I'm going to go with one of my favourite exercises here, which is barbell rows. I love this exercise for the back. It's really great for broadening the back and the lats, which is what I've been working on a lot, especially the past year or 2, and it's really helped to develop that. So set your bar up, pretty much the same as what you'd be setting up for deadlift, but just much lighter. Okay. And when you pick it up off the floor, same kind of technique as you would use for the deadlift, just to ensure that we're not going to get a silly injury by not concentrating. It's a lighter weight, yes, but we still need to be careful. Because I've talked to friends that have twisted and hurt their back when they were doing the most stupid lifts, picking a plate up off the floor or something, and then 2 minutes before that they were doing a really heavy deadlift because everything was in the correct line, form, they didn't hurt themselves. So try and go for as wide a grip as you can here. This is all about width. Make sure your hands are equal distance apart from the middle. You don't want to be putting more on one side than the other. Bring the bar up to a standing position, just like you was at the end of a deadlift. And then just bend forward, keep that back nice and flat. And then we're going to pull. Squeeze our elbows up. Keep that head high. If you want to go to the back dancing, see what this move looks like from the back. Squeeze up. Okay. When you start to fail, when you start getting to the point where your hands can't come all the way up, that's when you know that you're at the kind of limit of the rep range. So whatever reps you are at that point, that's your limit. Don't break form and adjust the weight accordingly. One more thing I'll say about this is we can do underarm grip. If that was overarm, underarm is generally going to work more the bottom. So switch it around, whatever you feel about. And what we're going to do with this last exercise, what I always normally do is another superset. Different exercise. Reverse flies is a great exercise superset. So we keep the arms straight. When this arm's out in front of you, you just want to be feeling a slight pull in your back before you pull it back. Again, we're just going for 10 reps. Not too heavy, just getting a pump on in the back. This is the last exercise, remember. Switch straight into it. Really feel that. And give yourself about 30-second rest and straight into the second set. Okay? 5 sets again. Alright. Am I starting to get a pump on yet?
No.
Last thing we're going to do is always, I'll finish with maximum wide grip pull-ups. All the back exercises are done, I want to make sure those muscles are hit. This is one way to do that. Jump up, wide, as wide a grip as you can. All the way down, all the way up. I'm not going to show you how many pull-ups I can do, I'll do that another day. Just do your maximum until you max out and then write it down. Write it down in your book, so the next week you're going to try and better that. Okay? Alright, so now it's time to work on the guns. Okay, by this point, your back should be very well worked out. Totally smashed it. If you haven't, then you're not going to work hard enough. And in that process, you should have a really good pump on your biceps as well. So, some may argue that this would be actually overtraining your biceps by doing biceps as well as your back. Again, there's no right or wrong. Like I say, we're just going to do your classic split biceps and back exercise training. So, first exercise I always use for biceps is easy bar. Easy bar is going to work on the thickness of the bicep. Really good exercise for that. So load up your bar with the right weight. We don't need to do any warm-up sets here. We're already fully warmed up. I don't want to see any swinging. You know, keep everything straight, still. Hang all the way to the bottom so you can almost feel your biceps start to stretch. And then squeeze just that top there. Squeeze. Squeeze. Already I can start to feel that. This is only a light weight. That's what we want. That's the sensation we want. Now superset with this one. Have your minute rest. Back into it. Same process as before. If it's too light, add weight. If it's too heavy, take weight off. Write everything down.
Fail.
Out there. Yeah, I didn't really go into. I've got my rules with my back. The 3 rules, so I've actually got some rules with the biceps as well. 3 rules. We want to work the middle, the inside, and the outside. Otherwise, Arnold would prefer to peak. So we've just done the middle with the easy bar. Now we're going to work on the inside. So this is my favourite for that. So we're going to use an incline bench. I'm going to grab a couple of dumbbells. We're going to lean right back and hang the dumbbells so you can feel already stretching the bicep. Now, instead of just doing your standard curl up to here, we're going to really focus on coming out to the outside like this. And really get that mind muscle connection and think, where am I feeling the squeeze here? I want to be feeling it on the inside. Great exercise inside your bicep. Yeah? Really feeling that. Okay. Same process again, 5 sets, minute rest, minute 15-second rest in between each set before we move on to the 3rd exercise. Okay, moving swiftly along. We're now on the 3rd exercise. This one's pretty open, so we've worked the inside, we've worked the middle. I'm going to do the outside last. So that's like, what can we do now? Well, depends. Maybe you're feeling like, no, I need to hit the inside a bit more. Or I want to hit the outside a bit more, or whatever. I'm thinking, I want to hit the middle a bit more. So there's different exercises we could do. I'm just going to show you one here. Cable curls. Perfect example of that. A lot of these exercises, nothing really fancy about it, you know. It's just picking the right one. Okay. Again, don't want no loads and loads of swinging. Just try and keep everything as still as possible. Try and keep your chest high. Don't arch forward like this. Just curl up. All the way down, so you feel a bit of a stretch. Bottom. Traction at the top. One thing I didn't say is the last two exercises, just like the back, we're going to do a superset. What we're going to do is chin-ups. We're not going to go overhand grip, we're going to do underhands. We're going to focus more on the bicep rather than the back. Different variations we can do here. I'll show you what I've been doing just lately. So we're going to go up fast and then down slowly. Up fast, down slowly. Okay, just do 5. Okay? You don't need to do 10 or max out or anything like that. Again, it's just ensuring that we're going to get a bit more of a pump on. Do your same 5 sets. Same with everything again, write everything down, increase the weight, take weight off accordingly to keep it between 8 and 12. And then we've got the last one for you. Okay, so we're on the final bicep exercise. Now we're going to go for the peak, as Arnold Schwarzenegger would say. So I'm going to call this the Arnold curl, because this is the one I used to do a lot back in the day. I really like this one, it was one of my favourites. So we're going to bend down, we're going to grasp the dumbbell, and we're going to curl up. And try and keep this elbow in the same position. Don't want to swing in like this. Just trying to concentrate, isolate as much as possible, okay? And then swap to your side. Maintain good form in your lower back. I don't want no arching. Just try and keep that 90-degree angle between your legs and your back. Same again. Try and pull like in and squeeze. Okay, and then you're going to jump up on the bar and you do another superset. With every superset, we're just doing 4 sets, not 5. So same again. Or if you like, just do normal pull-ups. Just do 5. Or you can go slow up, fast down, whatever. Just switch it up. Just do 5. You really feel that starting to burn, trying to pump, just get a good pump on. So that is the final bicep exercise. And then the last thing I want you to do, which is very cheeky, once you've done your 5 sets, then I want you to have a minute rest from your last set, and then I want you to do maximum chin-ups. Just normal chin-ups, all the way down, all the way up, just like this. Same again, write it down in your book, and then you'll know next time, oh, I did 11 chin-ups. This time I'm going to try and do 12, always try and get better. So this one's like a little Brucey bonus. Very rarely have I ever seen this in a gym, but when I do, I'm all over it like a cheap suit. Because this is one of the only exercises you can really do that focuses on your forearms. Basically what you do, you twist this bar, like this. It's just all about the forearms. So I always finish a bicep or tricep session off at the moment with down, straight back up, and then down, and then back up, and just keep going until you fail, and then you're finished. I don't know who the hell can do 4 or 5 plates on that, some sort of beast, but I can't. Again, it's about adjusting the weight accordingly. You want to do about 4 or 5 sets with that, and then you're going to really feel a good burn and good pump with that. Okay? Okay guys, so that's it, that's the full session. No doubt after I watch all of this, there'll be so many things I'll be thinking, oh I didn't mention this, I didn't mention that, because there's an infinite amount of things that I could talk about. But I believe I've covered the main bulk of what I would do in a back or bicep training session. The only difference being I'll be switching around the sets and the rep range. Some weeks I'll do heavy, which is between 1 and 5 reps, and then others I'll do slightly different hypertrophy range. Might even go from 8, between 8 and 10 or 12 or whatever. But basically that is exactly the same as what I do. So I hope you found that helpful. Any questions, then comment. If you want to make sure that you don't miss the next video, then if you're on YouTube, subscribe on YouTube. I've got an awesome video for you coming next time. Next time I'm going to go into the subject of spirituality. So we've covered the first 2 episodes of nutrition. We've done 2 episodes now of the training, indoors and out. Next one's going to be about spirituality. I'm going to go into detail about what is spirituality. So I really think you can enjoy that. Well, anyway, I need to cool down because warming up and cooling down are really important parts of training. So I look forward to seeing you next time. Alrighty, see you later.